Hello, students. My name is Dr. Agosh Verma, and today we will learn about the fungus or fungi. Fungi is a plural form, and fungus is a singular form. And we will discuss about fungi, its characteristics, its ultra structure of the cell, and some of a brief about the classification also. So let's begin. Now in this whole PPT or in this whole video we will learn about what fungus are, some of its basic associations, very popular associations with other organisms, its general characteristics of the fungi, and some of the ultra structures of the fungal cell. Now when I say fungi or fungus तो क्या आता है दिमाग में? इट कैन बी मोल्ड्स, जो ब्रेड पे हो जाते हैं, ब्रेड मोल्स जो आपने कभी ना कभी देखा होगा अपनी लाइफ के अंदर, या वेजिटेबल्स एंड फ्रूट्स पे जो हाइफे लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स आ जाते हैं जब फ्रूट्स ख़राब हो जाते हैं, वेजिटेबल्स ख़राब हो जाती हैं, उन सब के पीछे कारण क्या होता है? फंगाई का जो हाइफे लाइक स्ट्रक्चर, जो बिल्कुल नेट लाइक स्ट्रक्चर विच इज़ कॉल्ड माइसीलियम, वो डेवलप हो जाता है. दैट इज़ ऑल द. Now fungi can also be a good because the mushrooms and the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is very useful in the fermentation process, in the brewery industry, in the bakery industry, these Saccharomyces, this mushroom, these are all fungi. The fungi can be harmful and fungi is also good also. After discussing fungi briefly, we should know how fungi comes into the classification. उसका अलग से kingdom कैसे बना fungi का? तो सबसे पहले basically proposed हुआ था two kingdom system, then the three kingdom classification came into the existence, then about the four kingdom classification which was given by the Copeland in 1956. माइक्रोस्कोपिक स्टडीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा डेवलप हो गई थी, तो माइक्रोस्कोपिक स्टडीज़ रिवील दैट द बैक्टीरिया डिफर फ्रॉम अदर्स ड्यू टू देयर न्यूक्लियर स्ट्रक्चर्स, डिफरेंट न्यूक्लियर स्ट्रक्चर्स, बिकॉज एज बैक्टीरिया आर द प्रोकैरियोट एंड अदर्स आर द यूकैरियोटिक. So the Copeland decided to divide the whole prokaryotic and eukaryotic group into the four kingdoms. These four kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Animalia and Plantae. And these Monera, it consists of prokaryotic organism with incipient nucleus such as bacteria and cyanobacteria. Protista group consists of two true nucleate organisms, while Animalia, it consists of non-photosynthetic and multicellular organisms, and Plantae, it consists of photosynthetic and multicellular organism, and Animalia has non-photosynthetic. Now major drawback in this classification is that fungi are not properly placed. Fungi are placed with the Plantae group, but fungi differs in very much characteristics from the plant group. So this is the major drawback of this four kingdom. Now when we see that how the fungi, earlier it was placed according to the four kingdom classification, it was placed in the Plantae group, but there are the various reasons why the fungi are the different from plants. These are fungi lacks chlorophyll, they does not have chlorophyll, so they are not photosynthetic organism, they can't produce their own food, they never reproduce by seeds as plant do. Fungi are not photosynthetic, as I earlier said. Most are saprophytic, means they take their food from the dead decay organic material, and some are parasitic also. Cell wall of the fungi is made up of chitin, which is also present in the exoskeleton of many arthropods like spiders, but this chitin is absent in the plant cells, है ना? They has cellulose instead. And the fungi has hyphae and mycelium, which is altogether completely absent in the plants. Then the taxonomist thought, why can't we place this fungi group as an exception in the Plantae kingdom? But the exception are those species whose number are very less. But our fungi kingdom is a diverse group of species. They are the huge in numbers. According to the study in 2017, it was declared that 2.2 to 3.8 million species exist in the ecological system. So it is very large. So we can't place this fungi as an exception. We need to create a separate kingdom for the fungal species. Now this whole criteria brings a 5-kingdom classification. Now, after the 4-kingdom classification, its drawback was clarified in the 5-kingdom classification, which was proposed by Robert Whittaker in 1969. He placed fungi in the another separate kingdom. Now, our whole system, our whole organism system is divided into plants, animals, fungi, protists and bacteria, and the fungi kingdom has its fungi group has its own kingdom. Now when I say fungi or fungi in many language, fungi is a group of living organisms which are classified in their own kingdom. They are not plants, they are not animals, neither they are bacteria. They can be a prokaryotic like yeast and molds. They can be eukaryotic like mushrooms. Some of the fungi are the decomposers, means they play an important role in cycling of carbon and other elements. Some fungi are the parasites. They act as a parasites on the plants and cause various diseases such as mildews, rust, scabs and canker are some of the diseases in the plants which is caused by the fungi. Fungi can also cause disease in the human beings also, and they are majorly skin diseases such as athlete's foot, ringworm, thrush, and these are the disease which is caused by the fungi. So fungi cause disease also, and it is also responsible in making bread. After learning the characteristics, some of the brief characteristics of the fungi and how the fungi group came into existence, now we come to the symbiotic associations or various association which fungi makes with the other organisms. Now most popular association is the lichen. It is a symbiotic association between the algae and the fungal group. The algae which participate in this association, it is cyanobacteria, also known as the blue-green algae. Now this is the symbiotic type of association. Symbiotic type of association means in which the both partners benefit each other in one way or other. They both is benefited from this association. So it is a symbiotic type of association. Now what happens in lichen? Now you can see in a diagram the green cell, it is the algal cell, and the hyphae like structure which is present on the algal cell, it is the hyphae of the fungal cell. Now algal cell, it has chlorophyll in there. Algal cell has the chlorophyll, so it can produce their own food, and fungal cell, it lacks chlorophyll but it has a chitin in their cell wall, so it provides the rigidity. Algal cell provides the food to the fungal partner, and the fungal cell provides the rigidity or the support to the algal partner. Fungal partner also helps it to absorb or gather the water due to the presence of various hyphae. Now in this association, the non-fungal partner contains chlorophyll, so it is known as photobiont, and that is algae, and the fungal partner is referred to as mycobiont. Now we can better understand this lichen with the help of this video. Cyanobacteria obtain energy from photosynthesis. They are only the prokaryotes able to do this. Lichen may act as a plants but they are not plants. They may have leafy like structure. Sometimes they may have branches like structures. They have sometimes powdery feeling, but they are not a plants nor the powder. Now algae provides food in the form of carbon dioxide to the fungi, and fungi protects algae or cyanobacteria from environment. It also helps to gather the moisture. Lichens do not have roots, so don't have the tap reservoir of the water, they can grow in any environment because they can absorb water from the atmosphere. They can grow on the bare rocks, they can grow on the monuments, and sometimes you can also find them on the epiphyte mode on the trees. After the lichen, another most popular association is the mycorrhizal association. It is the mycorrhiza. It is the association which fungi makes with the roots of the higher plants. With the help of this video, we can better understand what mycorrhiza is and how they both benefit from each other.
Over 80% of plants live in a symbiotic relationship with a remarkable organism called mycorrhizal fungi. Through this symbiosis, the fungi and the plant naturally develop a lifelong bond of mutual benefit that's existed for over 450 million years. Mycorrhiza is the term used to describe the symbiotic relationship between mycorrhizal fungi and a plant's root system. First, the spore of mycorrhizal fungi germinate in the soil and make their way to the nearest roots. The roots are then colonized by the fungi, and mycorrhiza are established. The fungi penetrate the root and create an internal network of fungal structures inside the root cells, where the plant and mycorrhizae exchange sugars and nutrients. Finally, the hyphae continue to develop outside the roots, forming an extended network of fine filaments, which cover up to 700 times more soil area than the plant's own roots. This secondary root system draws in extra beneficial nutrients and water, supporting a plant or tree for its entire lifetime.
Now symbiotic association पढ़ लिए हमने, general characteristics पढ़े, तो अब आते हैं अल्ट्रा स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ फंगस पे. जब दिस इज़ द माइक्रोस्कोपिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ फंगस एंड इट इज़ बेसिकली somewhat type of eukaryotic cell because it is eukaryote, and you can see easily some of the organelles in the floating in the cytoplasm. It has cell wall, it has plasma membrane, some lipid inclusions are also there. Mitochondria is also present in the cell of the fungi. It has nucleus, ribosomes and endoplasmic reticulum. Now we will discuss each and every organelle थोड़ा सा डिटेल में, which make you better understand what is the ultra structure of fungi and how it is different to the ultra structure of plants and animals. Now in this diagram or in this picture, you can clearly see the chitin. It is a long carbohydrate polymer. It is present just above the phospholipid bilayer of the cell membrane, and above which it has a glucans, and this is the maximum part of the cell wall of the fungi. It consists of glucans. There are two types of glucans present in the cell wall of the fungi. It is microfibrillar glucans. It is 1 to the 6 glucan and 1 3 glucans. These two types of glucans, it is present in the fungal cell wall, above which the manoproteins are also present. It provides, along with the glucans, the manoproteins provides the helps in to maintain the rigidity and shape. It also helps in ion exchange and interaction with the host defense mechanism. So these are chitin, glucan and manoproteins are the three main basic components of the cell membrane or of the cell wall. Organelles of the cell or organelles of the fungal cell. Organelles means organs, or the in broader sense the parts of the cell. And basically all types of cell perform three basic activities, like it get food, it rid waste, and it reproduce. These are the three basic functions. It takes food, it rid waste, and it reproduce. And three main sections of any fungal cell or any of the cell are the plasma membrane, which is also known as the cell membrane, then the nucleus, which has the DNA or genetic material which helps in the reproduction of any of the cell, and third is the cytoplasm. Now the cytoplasm is the empty space, or it is the hollow space, but it is not hollow, it is a jelly like material in which all the inclusions and all the organelles embedded. Now inclusions are the droplets of the glycogen or the oil droplets or the pigment droplets which is present in this cell. Now cytoplasm, it is a jelly like material inside the cell. As I already said that it has inclusions and it also has various cell organelles. In the case of fungi, it has many types of organelles like nucleus, ribosomes, vacuoles, mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and lysosomes. These are basic organelles which is present in any fungal cell. Now the job of the cytoplasm, it is, now you can see the jelly like material, it is streaming, it is not a hollow space, we can say hollow it, but it is not a hollow space, it is the jelly like material which is, you can see from the microscope, it is streaming in the nature. Then this streaming is known as the cytoplasmic streaming. Now the job of the cytoplasm is to dissolve solutes, and lot of the chemical reactions also take place in the cytoplasm, lots of the chemical reaction, and it also provides the support to the cell, Now on beneath of the cell wall there is a plasma membrane also present. The plasma membrane, the prime function of the membrane of the fungi, like those of eukaryotic cell, is to provide the barrier between the cell and its environment. Now in the plasma membrane, it is a bilayered structure, and within the outer inner membrane the material is known as the plasma lemma. Now this plasma lemma, it invaginates and forms a pouch-like structure in case of fungi, and it forms a pouch-like structure. That pouch-like structure in the fungal cell, it is known as lomosomes. And these lomosomes is useful, it is very useful in the septum formation and even in the fungi respiration. Now what is septum formation, we will discuss later in many of our videos. Now septum formation, it is the major thing in the fungi reproduction. Now inside every eukaryotic cell there is a nucleus. Inside the nucleus is a fluid which is called as nucleoplasm and a nucleolus. The nucleus of a eukaryotic cell, fungi being a eukaryotic cell, it has DNA and histone membranes. Now eukaryotic cell have a true nucleus, which means the cell's DNA is surrounded by a membrane. Therefore the nucleus houses the cell's DNA and direct the synthesis of proteins and ribosomes. It also have a check on the cell activities. The nucleus is responsible for various functions. Its major functions are it coordinates the cell's activities, which include growth, intermediary metabolisms, and some of the protein synthesis, and major function is to reproduction, which is done with the help of nucleus, because it has a genetic material stored in this. One of the major organelles of the cell, any eukaryotic cell or the fungal cell, is the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum, it is present in most of the eukaryotic cell. It is also present in the fungi. The endoplasmic reticulum is basically of two types, RER and SER. Now RER is just extended to the nuclear membrane. You can see a small dots on the RER. These dots are nothing, it is a ribosomes. So RER has a ribosomes and SER lacks ribosome. That's why the RER ribosome gives RER the rough appearance. So it is known as the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now the functions of the rough endoplasmic reticulum is that it produces and secretes and exports proteins and few of the hormones, it provides the tunnel system that transports proteins, exports few hormones. So this is the main function of RER. Now you can see in the diagram, the A is the nucleolus, which is in the center of any nucleus. It is a dense material which has a chromatin in this. It has a chromosome, DNA, and now the nucleolus is extended, and the lines, you can see purple lines, it is a chromatin material, and all the thing is enveloped in the nuclear envelope. Now nuclear envelope, it has a pore which is known as nuclear pore, and extending to the nuclear envelope, there is the RER. So RER extends from the nuclear envelope, or you can say nuclear membrane itself. In contrary to the RER, there is one more type of endoplasmic reticulum, that is SER. It is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The main function of SER is to produce and export lipids and proteins, and also function in the detoxification. Now Golgi apparatus, as we all know, Golgi apparatus is the rare organelle which is not found in every fungal cell. It is found in Oomacetes. This green one is the Golgi apparatus. It has a flattened sac-like structures which is known as cisternae, and it has a rounded structure which is known as vesicle. It is light on the cytoplasm. It is present in the cytoplasm near the endoplasmic reticulum, in the continuation with the endoplasmic reticulum, and near the nucleus. The main function of the Golgi apparatus is to modify, sorts, and package the proteins. Now it is proteins released in the protective vesicles from the RER. Now in this video you can see that ER has two parts. Protein shipment. Now what happens, the nucleus, as we all know, nucleolus, it is responsible for making ribosome, and adjacent to the nucleolus or nucleus we have the RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. The ribosome, once released from the nucleus, is traveled to the RER. That's why it is known as RER, and for making the proteins. Now this ribosome, during the in the RER, in the lumen of the RER, it releases the proteins. Now this protein which is released by the ribosome in the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is not modified. It has to be acylated, it has to be methylated as the requirement of the cell. Now you can also see the protein word is not properly spelled. So this protein which is unmodified, it is grouped into the vesicle format, and this vesicle, it transfers to the Golgi sacs. Now after, in the form of vesicle, it transfers from RER to the Golgi. Now after the entry of this vesicle containing the unmodified protein into the Golgi apparatus has various folded membranes, and it has various secretions also. It modify this protein, it sort this protein into various groups according to the cell needs, and after the modified proteins into the secondary, tertiary, primary, or acylated or methylated protein in the form of vesicles only, it is released into the plasma membrane of the cell, and from this membrane it is further transferred to the different parts of the cell according to the needs of the cell. We all have one special organelle in our cell. We or fungus, both are eukaryotic cell. It is lysosome. Now lysosome is very useful organelle. It is a membrane bound organelle which is found in the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cell. Why it is important? Because it contains various digestive enzymes, and digestive enzymes क्यों require है? Because to break down the food, and which is required, it helps in digestion, phagocytosis and autolysis. ये सारे काम कौन करता है? लाइसोसोम करता है. And many of the enzymes which is present in the lysosome are phosphatase, sulfatase, glycosidase, lipases are some of the enzymes which is present in the lysosome. Now second most important duty of the lysosome is to kill pathogen. How it kill pathogen? Like in a diagram or in a picture in a video you can see a Caesar, it is the lysosome. If any pathogen landed on a, suppose we have a cell WBC, landed on the WBC, then the cell instruct that pathogen into the lysosome. Lysosome, due as it has many digestive enzymes, it phagocytoses that pathogen and clear or free our cell from that pathogen. Now third most important job the lysosome is the autolysis. Now what do you mean by autolysis? Autolysis is also called the cellular autophagy. Autophagy means that lysosome ruptures inside its cells and release enzymes that digest and degrade the cell, and as the lysosome kills its own cell, it is known as societal bag. इसे societal bag भी कहता है because वो cell अपने आप rupture हो जाता है, वो vacuole create हो जाता है, वहाँ नए cell आ जाते हैं. Last but not the least, one of the major organelle of any cell, any eukaryotic cell, it is the mitochondria. The mitochondria, as we all know, it is present in the cytoplasm and it is basically known as the powerhouse of any cell. Why it is known as powerhouse? Because it can create ATP and it also helps in cellular respiration. Now there is some of the evidences says that the endosymbiotic theory occurs in the mitochondria. Some endosymbiotic theory states that the eukaryotes evolved through a process wherein different types of the free living prokaryotes become incorporated inside the large prokaryotic cell and eventually develops into the mitochondria or chloroplast and probably other organism. That's why these organisms like mitochondria as well as chloroplast, which is present in the plants, has its own DNA. So these organelles has its own DNA in the sense of mitochondria. In the case of mitochondria has its own DNA which is known as mitochondrial DNA. It also has a ribosomes in it. So this evidence is having its own DNA and ribosome. These evidences make our theory more clear that maybe these earlier they were the prokaryotic organism and later on they become the eukaryotic. This is the endosymbiosis theory. So what are the functions of the mitochondria? Basically mitochondria, as we all know, it creates ATP. This is the main function. It helps in any respiration of the cell. The structure of the mitochondria is that they are bilayered structure. The inner membrane is enfolded in the form of cristae and which are form of the parallel flat plates or irregular tubules, and it ribosomes, it has ribosomes also. So this is the major function of the mitochondria.